This small, everyday habit might be quietly raising your risk of stroke while you sleep, especially if you're over 60. No warning signs, no pain. You feel totally fine. Until you suddenly lose your balance, your speech becomes slurred, or you can't lift one arm. As a brain specialist, I've seen this happen way too often. And no, I'm not talking about smoking, eating junk food, or skipping exercise. I'm talking about something people think is helping them. Vitamins. Vitamins. Every day, millions of seniors take vitamins to support memory, boost energy, or protect their bones. And while many are helpful, some can sneakily increase your risk for stroke, spikes in blood pressure, or even brain bleeds, especially in the early morning hours, when your brain is most vulnerable. If you've ever taken vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin B6, niacin, or vitamin A, this video could save your life. Before we jump in, have you ever wondered if vitamins could be dangerous? Type 1 in the comments if you have. If this is all news to you, type 0. And hey, if you or someone you love cares about brain health, be sure to like this video and subscribe to Senior Health. I'm Frank, and I share science-backed tips specifically for older adults. Alright, let's start with the one you'd least expect: vitamin D. This might shock you, especially if you take it regularly to stay healthy. But what you don't know could turn a good night's sleep into something much riskier. Vitamin D is widely praised, and for good reason. It supports your immune system, mood, and bone health. In moderation, all of that is true. But here's what most seniors never hear. Taking too much vitamin D, especially at night, can quietly increase your risk of stroke. Let me tell you about a man I'll never forget, Mr. Walter. He's a 74-year-old retired Navy vet. Disciplined, kind, and serious about staying healthy. Every morning, like clockwork, he'd set out his vitamins, including one capsule of 10,000 IU vitamin D. Bought it over the counter. He thought he was protecting his bones, but this one habit slowly created a silent storm inside his body. One morning, his wife found him confused and slurring his words. His right arm was limp. He'd had a stroke during the night. His blood pressure was out of control. His arteries had become stiff. His calcium levels? Dangerously high. The cause: vitamin D toxicity. C. High doses of vitamin D cause your body to absorb more calcium into your bloodstream. And when there's more calcium than your body can handle, it starts depositing it into your arteries. That's when things get dangerous. Calcium buildup stiffens and narrows the arteries. Combine that with dehydration, poor sleep, and naturally aging blood vessels, and you've got the perfect storm for a stroke. And the scariest part? No warning signs. You go to bed feeling normal and wake up to a life that's changed forever. Now here's what most people don't realize: many over-the-counter vitamin D supplements contain way more than older adults actually need. 5,000 IU, 10,000 IU. People assume more is better. But if you're not deficient, even 2,000 IU can be too much. So here's my advice. Take your vitamin D in the morning, not before bed. If you're supplementing, especially with calcium or heart meds, get your vitamin D levels tested regularly. And always read the label. Not sure how many IUs your supplement has? Type D in the comments and let's talk about it. And if this section made you rethink your routine, give the video a like. It could help someone else too. Now if that surprised you, wait until you hear about the next one. A vitamin that's often taken for heart health. But in seniors, it can be even more dangerous than a clot. I'm talking about a brain bleed. Let's talk about vitamin E. It is often marketed as a heart helper. Maybe you've taken it for years to boost circulation, support memory, even improve your skin. Lot of folks over 60 do. But here's what the supplement label won't tell you. Too much vitamin E, especially when combined with heart medications, can significantly raise your risk of a brain hemorrhage. Let me introduce you to Mrs. Evelyn Brooks, an 81-year-old retired librarian from Ohio. Funny, sharp, always had a book in hand. She was on warfarin. A common blood thinner for a heart valve issue. Everything was stable blood pressure. Test results all good. Then she saw an ad in a magazine for a natural vitamin E supplement. 800 IU per capsule. I thought it'd help with my memory. She told me. 3 weeks later, she was rushed to the ER. She had a pounding headache, nausea, confusion, and then collapsed. A brain scan showed a hemorrhagic stroke. No trauma, no sky-high blood pressure, just too much blood thinning. The combination of warfarin and high-dose vitamin E caused her blood to thin so much. One small brain vessel simply gave way. Here's what people don't realize: vitamin E, in large doses, works as a natural anticoagulant. It slows blood clotting. So if you're already on blood thinners like warfarin, Plavix, or even daily aspirin, adding vitamin E increases your risk of internal bleeding, especially in the brain, where even a tiny hemorrhage can cause permanent damage to movement, memory, and speech. Now get this, the recommended dose of vitamin E for seniors is just 15 milligrams, or around 22 IU per day. But go into any supplement store and you'll find bottles with 200, 400, even 1000 IU. And many people have been taking these for years, never thinking to ask their doctor. Mrs. Evelyn survived, but she now uses a cane to walk. Her memory isn't the same. I just wanted to help myself, she told me through tears. I didn't know I was hurting myself. That's what breaks my heart, because she's not alone. Too many seniors think if it's a vitamin, it must be safe. But the truth is, not all vitamins are safe, especially if you're on heart or blood pressure medications. So before you add anything new to your routine, talk to your doctor. Now, if the thought of a brain bleed wasn't enough to make you cautious, the next vitamin might surprise you even more. It's commonly taken for energy and nerve support. But too much of it can quietly damage your nerves, sometimes permanently. Let's talk about vitamin B6. Vitamin B6, often praised as a brain booster, a nerve supporter, or an energy enhancer. You've probably seen it on the label of brain health supplements at the pharmacy. Maybe even bought a bottle that promised sharper focus, better memory, or more energy. Ensure vitamin B6 is essential in small amounts. But here's the part that most people, especially seniors, are never warned about. Too much B6 can damage your nerves. Not temporarily. Not just a tingling. We're talking about long-term, potentially irreversible nerve damage. Let me introduce you to someone I'll never forget, Mr. Harold Jenkins. Harold was a 76-year-old retired truck driver from Kansas. Tall, quiet, and had a dry sense of humor. But he came into my office one day looking worried. He said he kept losing his balance. His hands were tingling. His feet felt numb. At first, he figured it was just aging. Something to live with. Then he fell once, then again. The third time, he hit his head on the bathroom floor. That's when he came to see me. After checking his symptoms, I looked at his supplements. And there it was. He had been taking a nerve support formula for over a year. It claimed to help circulation, energy, and mental clarity. Each pill had 100 milligrams of B6, and he was taking 2 pills a day. That's 200 milligrams daily. Let me put that into perspective. Older adults only need about 2 to 10 milligrams per day. So Harold was getting 20 to 100 times the amount his body needed. Now here's what's scary. Unlike water-soluble vitamins like C, B6 builds up in your body over time, especially as you age and your metabolism slows down. And when that buildup happens, B6 starts attacking your nerves. Imagine a wire wrapped in insulation. B6 slowly strips that insulation away, leaving the nerves exposed and unprotected. What happens next? Tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, shakiness, trouble walking, memory issues, confusion, even worse. These symptoms creep in gradually. Most people think it's arthritis, sciatica, or just getting old. But it's not. It's B6 toxicity, a silent, sneaky form of nerve damage caused by something that's supposed to help, Now, luckily for Harold, we caught it in time. We stopped the supplement, and the damage didn't progress. But it didn't reverse either. He still uses a cane. He no longer drives, he told me. Doc, I just wanted to protect my brain. I didn't realize I was poisoning it. And he's not. Alone. I see this way too often. Vitamin B6 supplements with 50, 100, even 200 milligrams per tablet being sold under the disguise of brain support or energy boosters. For seniors, anything above 10 milligrams should be taken only with a doctor's guidance. So if you're taking a supplement that says nervous system, brain, or energy, flip it over and check the label. Look for B6 or pyridoxine. And check the dose. If you've taken something like this or know someone who has, type B6 in the comments. Let's share what we've learned. Now you might be thinking, okay, but surely vitamin A is safe, right? I mean, it's just for vision, isn't it? Not exactly. Vitamin A is a tricky one, especially if you're over 60. Most people know it's good for your eyes. Maybe you've also heard it helps with skin, the immune system, or general aging. But what you probably haven't heard is this. Too much vitamin A can quietly build up in your body and eventually affect your brain. Let me tell you about Miss Dorothy Simmons. She's a 79-year-old piano teacher from Oregon. Still taught students from her living room. Loved her independence. Loved her music. Then one day, she started getting headaches. At first, she brushed them off. Then her vision blurred. She felt lightheaded. Her speech began to slur. Her family rushed her to the hospital, thinking she'd had a stroke, but the scan showed something unexpected. No clot, no bleeding. Instead, her intracranial pressure was dangerously high. Her brain was being pressed from the inside. The diagnosis? Vitamin A toxicity. For more than 5 years, Dorothy had been taking a high-dose skin and eye supplement. Nearly 10,000 IU of vitamin A every day. Nobody warned her it could be harmful. Unlike some vitamins that are flushed out through urine, vitamin A is fat-soluble. That means your body stores it in your liver, brain, and tissues. And as we age, our ability to clear it slows down. So day by day, the dose builds up and builds up. And eventually, the pressure inside the skull increases. This condition is called pseudotumor cerebri, also known as a false brain tumor. It mimics the symptoms of a real brain tumor, or stroke, headaches, blurry vision, lightheadedness, nausea, slurred speech. In severe cases, it can lead to permanent vision loss or cognitive decline. Here's what's especially alarming: the recommended upper limit of vitamin A for seniors is 2,500 to 3,000 IU daily, and only under medical supervision if higher. But go online, and you'll find supplements with 5,000 or 10,000 IU. Add that to your multivitamin or your anti-aging skin formula, and suddenly you're doubling or tripling your intake without even realizing it. That's exactly what happened to Miss Dorothy. She's doing better now. But she needs regular vision checkups, blood pressure monitoring, and balance therapy. I thought I was doing something good for myself, she told me. I didn't know it could hurt my brain. That's why I'm sharing her story. Not to scare you, but to empower you, because knowledge is the best medicine. And the truth is, your body is different at 60, 70, or 80 than it was at 30 or 40. It processes supplements differently. It's more sensitive to excess. You deserve to know that. And now, if you thought vitamins for eyes and nerves could be risky, wait until we talk about one that's supposed to help your heart, but instead can raise your blood pressure and even trigger a stroke. I'm talking about vitamin B3, also known as niacin. Let's talk about niacin, also called vitamin B3. You've probably heard it described as heart-friendly. It's often recommended to help lower cholesterol. Some doctors even prescribe it. You'll also find it in energy drinks, multivitamins, heart health blends, and even breakfast cereals. Sounds safe, right? Here's the part they don't always tell you. High doses of niacin can quietly raise your blood pressure and trigger a stroke, especially in older adults. Let me introduce you to Mr. Frank Miller. Frank was an 82-year-old retired postal worker from Florida. His wife brought him in after weeks of strange symptoms. His face flushed bright red in the mornings. His chest pounded like a drum, and he'd get dizzy for a few minutes before breakfast. She thought he was anxious. His son thought maybe it was his blood pressure meds. But the real cause? Hidden in his supplement drawer. He'd been taking an over-the-counter heart health pill. The label said, supports circulation and cholesterol. But when I checked the back of the bottle, each dose had 1,000 milligrams of niacin. And he was taking it twice a day. That's 2,000 milligrams over 60 times what most seniors need. Now, niacin at high doses causes your blood vessels to suddenly expand. That's why your face feels flushed and warm. It's a known side effect. But here's what happens next. Those blood vessels quickly constrict again. And this rapid stretch-snap pattern, it creates a yo-yo effect that forces your heart to work harder, raises blood pressure, and reduces blood flow to your brain. Over time, it's like tapping a hammer on a piece of glass. Eventually, something cracks. Frank had what's called a TIA, or transient ischemic attack, a mini-stroke. His speech slurred for about 2 minutes. Then it went back to normal. He thought it was a fluke. But it was a warning sign, a blinking red light that his brain was in danger. And the scariest part? He thought he was doing everything right. I just wanted to take care of my heart, he told me. I didn't know I was playing Russian roulette with my brain. Here's the truth. Many seniors are unknowingly taking high doses of niacin. Even the so-called flush-free or extended-release versions, which are marketed as gentler, can still mess with your blood sugar, trigger irregular heart rhythms, or raise blood pressure over time. So what should you know? If you're over 60, anything over 50 milligrams of niacin a day should only be taken under medical supervision, and always read your labels, especially if you're on heart medications, blood pressure pills, or have a history of rhythm issues. Frank stopped taking his supplement. And thankfully, he didn't suffer long-term damage. But I'll never forget what he told me. Doc, I had no idea I was gambling with my brain every morning. Now we've talked about 5 popular vitamins, D, E, B6, A, and B3, all taken with the best intentions, all capable of causing harm if used incorrectly. So you may be wondering, what am I supposed to take instead? Or eat? What actually helps my brain stay strong without putting me at risk? Let's talk about that. The answer isn't in a bottle. It's on your plate. Your body wasn't designed to run on megadoses of supplements. It was built to thrive on real, whole food, nutrient-dense meals in just the right amounts. I want to introduce you to someone who made that shift. Margaret Wilson, a 73-year-old former school principal from Arizona. When we first met, she had a drawer full of pills. B-complex for energy, niacin for cholesterol, vitamin D for bones, vitamin E for her heart, a multivitamin, and 2 different brain support supplements. Doc, she said, I'm doing everything right, and I still feel dizzy every morning. Her blood pressure was creeping up. She was shaky on her feet. She didn't feel like herself. So we took a bold step. We cleaned house. We removed the supplements one by one and replaced them with food. Not a trendy diet. Not a fancy plan. Just real, whole foods in simple portions. Here's what she had for breakfast. A glass of room-temperature water to hydrate her brain. Half an avocado packed with healthy fats. 1 slice of whole grain toast for slow, steady energy. A handful of blueberries rich in antioxidants. 1 boiled egg for clean, easy to digest protein. And sometimes a few almonds or walnuts for extra brain-loving fats. That's it. No powders, no pills. Just food. Within weeks, Maggie noticed a difference. The dizziness was gone. Her blood pressure evened out. Her thinking felt clearer. And she said, I finally feel like me again. Why did it work? Because your brain needs a few simple things. Natural vitamins from food, healthy fats to protect nerve cells, steady energy from whole grains, water to keep blood flowing and toxins out, and balance, not excess. Here are some of the best brain protective foods for older adults. Leafy greens like spinach and kale, rich in folate and antioxidants. Fatty fish like salmon or sardines, loaded with omega-3 south for cell protection. Berries packed with polyphenols that fight inflammation. Nuts and seeds, great sources of vitamin E. Magnesium and healthy fats, whole grains to support circulation and maintain stable blood sugar. And here's the beautiful part. These foods don't just support your brain. They also help your heart, your joints, your digestion, your mood, and your independence. Every bite is an act of healing. And the best medicine of all? Awareness. At this stage of life, every choice carries weight. And it's not about being afraid of vitamins. It's about respecting them. Your body processes supplements differently in your 60s, 70s, and 80s than it did when you were younger. So be cautious, be informed, read the labels, ask your doctor, and most importantly, listen to your body, especially when it whispers. If anything in this video opened your eyes, please let me know in the comments. What's one small change you're planning to make starting tomorrow? If this helped you, hit the like button so others can find it. And don't forget to subscribe to Senior Health for more simple, science-backed tips. If you're still watching right now, thank you. You're not alone on this journey. And if this video resonated with you, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. We're learning together. We're growing together. And we're staying strong together. Thank you for being here.